we are ready to go.
All right. That was good?
Hey, yeah, just coughing into the mic.
Oh. Shoutouts to coughing.
All right. All right, we're ready to go.
All right, do you want a countdown from me? Or?
Yeah, let's get a countdown from
All right, on go. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. We are underway. Super Mario Brothers 3. Runner is Horsedad, and today he'll be doing 100% for the category. And what that entails, basically, it's doing all of the stages. So he'll be doing all stages, all Hammer Brothers. There's 2 plant stages in World 7, and he'll also be doing all hands, which is in World 8. But World 1, it's a fairly short world. I think a lot of runners of this game would say the degree of difficulty is a little bit higher because they're throwing a lot of new stuff, introductory mechanics and stuff of that nature. So it's a short world, but it's not exactly that easy. But as you'll see, really the name of the game for Super Mario Brothers 3, you'll notice a P meter at the bottom, and he'll be trying to charge that up. And what that does when it's charged is he's able to move faster, and kind of the other part of this game that makes it go fast is getting fire and holding on to it as long as possible.
Yeah, it's really important to try and keep fire throughout the whole run as much as possible. You save time all over the place. Not only, there's these bosses at the end of every fortress called Boom Booms. You can kill those with fire. That saves like 4 or 5 seconds every time. You can kill the Koopa Kid bosses at the end of every stage. That saves, depending on the Koopa Kid, that saves time too. And then just kind of clearing yourself a path to run through with fire is pretty key, I'd say.
So 1-4, this is the first auto-scroller in the game. 100% has quite a few auto-scrollers. Usually there's about 1 or 2 each world.
Yeah, that's a decent way to put it.
World 8 has a little bit more.
World 8's a little auto-scroller intensive, unfortunately. Alright, on to the fort. Gonna try and fly up quick here.
So he's gonna keep his tail and actually get a warp whistle in this stage. We're not actually gonna use it because this is 100%. The whistles in this game allow you to warp to a different world. So you can see it there. Won't be using it, and then he'll just have to be mindful not to use it in his inventory.
Exactly.
As you can see, he's getting P speed here, trying to carry it through the whole level.
That's not too big of a deal because there's a backup mushroom right away in 1-6. I mean, obviously, generally speaking, you never want to get hit, but it's gonna happen in a no reset run probably. Alright, so yeah, you'll see me grab my backup right here at the beginning of the stage. And then it's just business as usual after that.
So he's gonna try and get P speed here and do the Superman flyover. And he gets it, very nice. That stage can be pretty tricky.
Yeah.
To get P speed in.
Yeah, if you miss it initially, you kind of got to loop back and forth to make sure you get it back. Or you can take the long ride on the platform, I guess. Oh, I have this bad habit of just going on autopilot in World 1 because I've done it so many times. So on that overworld map position that I ended up on with fighting the Hammer Brother, there is actually obviously a fire flower in there, and I always just check that box that it could be in every time because I'm usually not paying enough attention to know which spot I fought him on. Like I said, you just kind of start cruising after a while. I hope I set up my fire kill pattern correctly. So setting up the fire kills in this game it sounds complicated, but it's really not. Well, it is and it isn't. Basically, there's like windows of 8 frames where the pattern will change. But since these levels are all auto-scrollers before the boss, that really helps us arrive at the same time. I had a feeling I did that. I hit A basically too quick in the castle scene, and I got a jumping Larry right there. Which I guess I could have fire killed him, but it would have been slower than jumping on him.
Yeah, he'll be trying to set up fire kills in there'll be some bosses where it's just not worth it, and it's just easier and safer.
Well, yeah, like in that scenario, I was basically too fast from the spot I fought the Hammer Brother up until I entered the pipe to fight Larry there.
Alright, so on to World 2. So we do get a power-up here.
Yep, P-Wing, yeah.
We'll be using a couple P-Wings in the run, which you'll see later on. World 2, there's 2 Hammer Brothers in this world. And this is, I guess, the desert.
It's the desert
geographical
area.
Location.
Yeah, that P-speed build at the beginning of that stage is kind of awkward because you have to basically run into a wall to get it.
This is kind of the first stage with water in the game. And he's just going to be hopping over it. There's kind of a tricky jump at the beginning where you can kind of set yourself up when you slide off the slope and just carry your momentum through.
And unfortunately, I'm really glad that I was actually worried about it happening. Sometimes you can actually go too fast and clear the platform you want to land on it. We call it, I don't know, there's a stupid name for it, about Too Fast, Too Furious, but I forgot what it is.
Alright, so coming up on the fort here, he's going to try and get P-speed here, which he does. He'll try and carry that all the way through this screen here. Very nice. And you'll kind of start seeing why fire is faster. So normally you would have to jump on that boom boom a couple times. It's a little slower, so...
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 seconds every time you can kill one of those guys with fire, so that really adds up over the course of an entire run. I wish that Hammer Bro would have hung around, but it's not the end of the world.
So there's a small little optimization here. He's kind of being pretty aggressive there and kind of allows him to get in the pipe quicker. Normally, when you play casually, you hit the Koopa and kind of just let the shell take care of all the blocks and then safely go down, but
we don't have time for that.
We don't have time for that. Angry Sun here makes his first appearance.
This is like watch, I'll get hit now. But this is like the easiest stage in the game, basically. It's really flat, there's not much to do. If you just do full jumps at those 2 spots I did, you'll land on the Koopa every time, and you're good to go. It's a really good learning stage, like when you're first getting into the game, because you can just kind of get it's easy to get P-speed, and you can, just kind of practice having it.
That stage is pretty straightforward, and now he's going to try and read and react to the Hammer Brothers.
Well, I need to pay it. You should talk about coin ships real quick.
So coin ships can happen and be summoned in this game. I think it's Worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6 is when it can actually happen. But right now you can see he has 44 coins. What spawns a coin ship is if, say for example, he has 44 coins and the 10th spot in his score is also a 4, that would summon one of the Hammer Brothers into a coin ship. So that's just something he's going to have to be mindful of throughout the run, is just adjusting his coin count if necessary in order to avoid the coin ship.
I got really lucky there that Boomerang Bro didn't move backwards because I didn't crouch jump and I would have been screwed. But he moved forward, so it was good.
But yeah,
go ahead.
I was going to say the coin ship is a very big time loss in this game. Basically, you have to enter the coin ship, and you can either complete it, which is really, really slow, or I guess you can intentionally die at the beginning if you get wedged.
Speed run, we just try and kill ourselves. I mean, you reset, but if you're in like a race setting, you just try and kill yourself as quick as possible.
Stage is pretty cool. It's very maze-like. He's just kind of navigating through it. It's a little nice. It's a little optimization there where he bounces off the beetle, and it looks like the shell actually hits him, but it just kind of, if it's close enough to you,
it'll go right through Mario. Yeah. So, that's ideal to set up the kill on Morden, who's the boss of this world, coming from the pyramid like that. You notice like sometimes I'll mash A right there at the end of the cutscene. That's so I can trigger the end of it like as soon as possible. Stay on track with the pattern I want to get. I actually like intentionally did a really quick bonk on the overworld into the castle before I entered it too, because you actually want like a very slight delay. Yeah, the airships are basically like entertain yourself without taking damage or whatever. Careful entertainment.
Yeah, there's each castle has an airship like this. It's easy to relax too much, but you got to be careful so you don't accidentally take a hit. And
I've probably gotten hit on every airship in the game several times just by not paying attention.
So I mean, they're fairly easy, but you can't get too careless, otherwise you put yourself in a hard spot. Is it an accordion? Ooh, nice. So he gets the fire kill there. It was close, but
yeah, that was fine. It can happen where he pops you off to the right, and then you're kind of out of luck for the kill, but I mean, like, if I did it really clean, he would have never made contact with my feet at all, but that works just as well. Alright. I gotta remember to keep looking at my coins. I'm not paying attention at all. To avoid a coin chip.
I'll try.
Yeah, trying to remind me every now and then if you think about it. I should be fine right now, but...
So World 3 is the water world.
There's actually a frame-perfect jump you can do right at the beginning of that stage, and Mario will jump before he touches the water. It's a very minor time save, but it looks really cool, because he's basically jumping off nothing. Alright. 3-2 is kind of a run killer. I mean, it's...
Yeah, 3-2 has a very difficult P-speed strat that you try to get at the very beginning, which you'll try and see. And he gets it. So he's going to try and carry this all the way. Sometimes those fish they have really bad hitboxes.
I thought I came up short on the first one. That was really close.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it always feels good to get by that. It's kind of a relief, I guess.
3-3. So this is the introduction of the boss bass. You can kind of see him at the bottom, swimming along. With boss bass, you can get hit by him, but he's basically just trying to... He can swallow you whole, and you don't just lose your fire, it's
die.
An instant death.
There's no reason he should be any problem in that stage, but he's there.
He'll make a couple more appearances.
Oh, he'll be back.
So this is the fort here. You can see doors everywhere.
I did not go for the
There's
third door
like
glitch.
you can do on the third door in this world, but you have to do a frame perfect up.
As you go through the door, you have to hit up to re-enter it on the exact frame, and it saves a few seconds. Not really my thing in a marathon, I guess. I know definitely other people have gone for it in marathons, but...
And as you can see, he's trying to get rid of the Hammer Brothers right away. Their movements... They can move around a lot, and usually it's just best to kill them right away so they're not causing extra time with their movement.
Yeah, that's like the RNG or luck factor in this category, which is 100%. Is you want them to move around the overworld map as little as possible, basically. Because they can actually eat up quite a bit of time over the course of an entire run, I guess. Alright, good, he stayed. If he would have ran right of 6 there, that would have been bad. I mean, it's not like...
Did I mention the cards?
You did not mention the car.
So you can
I don't think you did.
You can see on the bottom right he has 2 stars. At the end of each level, you'll get a card, and you in the speed run you want to avoid getting 3 of a kind because there's a fanfare animation, which causes time. So usually, like, you'll see him probably do a turn back right here to get a mushroom. That avoided. I'm not sure how much time it costs, but
I really don't like this coin count right now.
oh, he's got 66 coins, so he's gonna have to be careful. And
I mean, it's not a problem for a while because the Hammer Bros are I don't know if you said the Hammer Bros are what turn into a coin chip.
mm-hmm.
So I've eliminated both of them in this world. I don't need to worry about it until World 5 actually, because the World 4 Hammer Brothers do not turn into a coin chip, even if you have the circumstances that would trigger one. This stage,
nice green block.
Yeah, you can glitch out a little bit. You can shoot through that pixel. I'm gonna try and get another green block here in a moment. So if I do this right, one will spawn on the right. Oh, not doing it right, I guess.
Terrible.
I needed to grab that guy and throw him and hit a block as it was going off screen.
So yeah, anything you can do to kind of entertain yourself in the auto scrollers.
It doesn't like save time or anything. It has no bearing on the outcome of the run, but yeah, it's just kind of for fun. So stoked I didn't die on that. There's actually a faster, like if I was doing PB attempts, I would have tried to pop off. There was like a Paracupa down by the pipe, which is, it's super safe and it saves like a second, but I don't know, I die on it way too often.
It's a pretty short stage here. Not much to this level.
I actually, like, this is actually one of my favorite stages though, just because it's so fast. I did a little turn back in there, like ideally you just blaze straight through it, no stopping. Oops, oh that could have been bad. A really lame super swim at the beginning there.
So I believe this is the only water-based fort in the game, to my knowledge.
I think you're ready. Oh yeah, go for it whenever you're ready.
Tiny Tim 78 donated $8. He says, "Hi all, very happy to support the marathon and charity, and hope to donate more later. Best of luck to all runners. Cheers." Thanks for that donation.
So there's just another example of where fire is a benefit.
So there's Boss Bass again. This level, he does pose more of a threat than his first appearance. You can see almost. It's kind of nice to just grab that ice block just in case, or.
I just hold on to it because worst case scenario, if he touches me, he'll just run into it and die.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like throw it at him and kill him outright too, which is does the same effect. Yeah, but that platforms in that level like rotate kind of on cycles up and down, and we don't want to wait for them, so we just kind of hop across the water.
So this level we have our first H jump of the game. You'll see.
I didn't think you were going to see it for a second there. I thought I was going to hit that music block.
pretty much World 3.
That's World 3. That was actually a pretty good World 3, as far as I can recall. Yeah, I'm sneaking a peek at the timer over there. It's actually decent pace.
So what exactly did the king transform into? What is that?
That's a great question, my friend, which I do not have the answer to. Type of maybe gremlin-like creature with a shell. Yep, so here we get the, you know, auto-scroller airship at the end of every stage. Or world, I should say. I guess World 8 doesn't have one, but that's because you go fight Bowser. The fire kill for Wendy that I'm hopefully going to do is actually easier than jumping on her head because you throw these rings all over the place if you let her go for too long, and they can really become a nuisance. I keep hearing like an accordion. Is there an accordion over there?
Nice kill.
Oh, that was actually a good kill. 222 on the in-game timer is what you want. I usually don't do it that well, to be honest.
Alright, World 3 is done.
World 3 is done.
World 4, would you say, is that your favorite?
Yeah, it's like, it is actually my favorite from a speedrun perspective, favorite world. It's kind of short and sweet. It's got a lot of challenging stages, but it looks really nice when you pull stuff off. Get another item from the
Yeah, I think this was my favorite casually, like, as a kid.
Yeah, it's got the big little gimmick.
Alright, so 4-1 has pretty difficult P-speed strat there.
I didn't quite get it. I wanted to build my P meter up before I kind of hit that waterfall area. The backup's not too terrible though. I mean, it's obviously slower, but it's not like killing your run, I guess.
So in this world, there's 3 Hammer Brothers, you'll notice. You can see 2 of them on screen there, but they have the potential to run around a lot in Marathon if they're too clustered together. So that can waste a lot of time if you don't take care of them right away, or sometimes you just get bad luck and it's
Yeah,
totally
I
out of
had
your control.
I made a highlight once. I think it was like 35 seconds where they linked up on top of each other and were moving around for over 30 seconds straight, where I was just, you know, you're stuck there.
Yeah, all you can really do is just sit there and wait for them sometimes. And
Obviously,
this is a really cool level to watch. I'd probably say it's an SMB3 runner's probably one of their more favorite stages to practice, at least. But it looks really cool.
And it's actually not that hard either. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like easy, but basically once you get the hang of getting your P speed at the beginning of that underground part, the rest isn't really too bad actually.
So he's going to be using his star here for the fort. This is, I would say, probably of one of the hardest stages in this game. Oh, he almost had it.
I hate
But yeah,
it.
it's just a lot of crouch jumps and
I
wiggling.
hate messing up that last part because it's like you did all the hard stuff and then yeah.
You're so close, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, you can actually wiggle through there.
Yeah.
That wall in that last thwomp, but
Yup.
it's a tight fit.
Yeah, it's one of the nice things about this category though, is since you play every stage, there's a lot more like backup options available to you to get your fire flower back.
So he's timing his jumps here and bouncing off the Lakitu, which skips over a lot of... Normally you would go through that level just swimming underneath.
Yeah, and he can definitely snipe you from up high there. I'm glad that didn't happen there. Alright, so now I'm going to be looking to get my fire flower back in stage 5 down there. I mean, just to call back to that when I was talking about the benefit of fire in this run, like, even here I'm losing a little bit of time on each of these fights by not having a fire flower. And I would lost time also not being able to fire kill the boom boom at the end of that fortress when I got hit. So, I mean, like, when you're going for top tier times, it really adds up. It's kind of nice. I was able to just take care of all 3 of them right there.
4-5 is it's a non-P speed level. It's kind of cumbersome and awkward, so we just kind of go through it. You can see all these pipes and whatnot.
I actually kind of like it because
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
like
have
this
P
game a
speed.
lot.
It's kind of like a nice change of pace, honestly.
Okay. So again, avoiding the fanfare, getting
Yep.
that mushroom.
That's why I turned back before I hit the card. 4-6 is pretty cool. Ooh, oh boy, okay, I think we're still good. Yeah, we can make it. Got a little dicey there for a second, but we're good.
Nice.
I knew I was short as soon as I jumped.
This is a very difficult.
Yeah, it's really
fort.
tight to build your P speed here.
It's pretty risky. He's
So that's kind of a bummer actually, because now I'm going to be, well, I take that back. I'm not going to be fireless because I'm going to do something that's a little slower at the beginning of World 5 to grab my fire back, but no fire kill at the end now, and no fire kill on this guy, and hopefully we don't die here either. That it's pretty irrelevant actually, because I'll just end up grabbing a mushroom on the ship.
Alright, so we just got the castle now. This is a very, very long, slow, boring.
Yeah, it's pretty
Airship.
bad.
So if you have any donations, feel free.
If anyone has anything interesting to say, feel free, because this is a long ride.
It's not the longest stage, but yeah, just
Yeah, it's definitely the most boring
you get a lot of
stage.
thinking time in this.
Yeah,
So if you're on like good pace and you get to think about it, how good a pace you're on, and
yep.
as you just sit there.
I've definitely, like, if I'm big, you can kind of slide under here and it'll push you back out from this little spot right there. I've definitely gone too far and just fallen off and died. I kind of don't, I don't know how I want to approach my coins right there. I should be fine. Say that now. Alright, so yeah, up there you're going to see a question block. I will be grabbing.
Usually there's always just one power up on an airship. I think in
Yeah.
World 7 there's 2 that you
Yeah,
can get. So
actually, I don't know if it's this one. It might honestly be this one.
Oh, that
but
has a
yeah, there's a
power up at
block
the very
past the pipe. That's pretty sneaky.
and you kind of forget that in a speed run. Like casually, you're very aware of it.
Yeah, but in a speedrun, you're definitely not waiting for this, especially if it. I honestly can't remember if it is this ship.
Yeah, I forget now too.
I just want to look now. If I was positive, I would, but I don't know.
So yeah, I think that's about 2 minutes of airship.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Substantial. And we got Iggy here.
Okay, I didn't get hitbox, which he can go right through your feet sometimes and just hit you. I actually started, like, if I have to jump kill him, I almost come, like, horizontally toward him. So, because the problem is when his upward velocity is too high, is when he'll just, like, kind of go right through Mario's feet. And and make you take damage, I guess. Alright, so 5. Okay, I gotta kind of think here because I usually have
World
fire
5,
right
it has 2 sections. There's a land section and a sky.
It's a pretty cool world,
You
actually.
see, this is the lower part of it.
Yep.
501's pretty straightforward. You're just kind of scaling up and going back down. Not too much to this level.
So yeah, that's what I was
He did
kinda,
it differently because he didn't have fire, so
Yeah, that's what I was
he
kind of
had
thinking.
to thread.
Yeah, I had to kind of recall that backup, I guess. So here's where I'm gonna, just for the sake of, you know, doing a marathon run, I'm actually gonna grab a flower that is slow. Like, I wouldn't do this in a PB attempt, basically.
In that section, you can actually fall down if you don't.
I'm glad you didn't say anything while it was happening.
You can fall down, and it's really,
terrible.
really time-consuming.
It's actually so slow if you fall down that pit that you're better off just killing yourself and restarting the level.
So luckily, he doesn't have a mishap. I can't remember the last time I've seen someone fall there, but it's ugly.
There's a Warpless tournament going on that I'm in. I saw someone fall down there, but yeah, it really sucks.
Alright, so
Alright, so back on track now, power-up wise, which is nice. Which is why I took the time to go down there and grab it. Because it really does affect the strats that you're doing if you don't have fire.
yeah, 5-3 is a very long level coming up, which is nice to have fire in it. And
Yeah, for sure.
fort down.
That's actually a stage, like, if you ever pick this game up, like, that's when you should learn early on for sure. It's pretty simple. I'm trying to really optimize when I grab those chests, just to save, you know, every possible frame, I guess. So I kind of have setups that I do to try and help me with that. Alright, good.
Yeah, it's a pretty long level. There's a backup fire flower right there.
Right there that I just hopped off of, yeah. So you might have noticed that I like jumped toward the pipe. That was so I entered it without touching the ground. It let me keep P-speed out the other end when I was approaching the card there. 5-3 is actually one of my favorite stages. Looks really nice like that when you do it well. Okay, I should think about, we're gonna stay on that. I was just gonna adjust my tens place in the points, just trying to avoid coin chip, but I think I should be fine.
So here we enter the Twisty Castle. He's gonna try and get P-speed and maintain it throughout the whole stage, which is pretty difficult to do because there's some awkward jumps.
So glad I didn't fall in the pit there. I was doing that all morning in practice, just like either jumping too high or like not tapping in too lightly and not registering the jump.
So he'll be climbing this vine, and that will take him to the cloud section of the world.
Yep. Like, these stages aren't necessarily like too hard, but they're just like kind of scary psychologically because there's no ground like that. So what I'm gonna do is just grab a mushroom here at the beginning, kind of like reset myself and get yeah, just kind of get P-speed like this. I'm gonna play it safe here. I don't need to die again.
That's a good call.
That was one of those where it was kind of like I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it all the way to the last platform or not, so it's like I'll just rather not die again.
You can see that one hammer.
Oh sweet, I got P-speed. Okay, that's sorry to cut you off. That's like much more that's one of the hardest early P-speed gets in the game, and it's really hard when you don't have fire to kind of clear your path a little bit.
Very nice.
So I'm glad that worked out. So now I'm going to go down and do an auto scroller here. I think I kind of cut you off about something about a Hammer Brother.
I was going to say, the Hammer Brother, there's one in the cloud section. And sometimes he can get stuck in a kind of awkward spot right by the castle. And
yeah.
since they can't land on levels or other Hammer Brothers or stages, he can sometimes just move around a lot, and so it's kind of ideal if he's closer to you.
Just eats up a ton of time. It's like awful. The World 5 Hammer Bros can just be run killing, honestly.
Another auto scroller here.
This one's like another kind of like scary one when you're on good pace. Again, it's not like really hard, but you just, I don't know, it's a little nerve-wracking, I guess. I really hate my coins right now.
You see he kind of delayed there. If you enter the pipe too fast, it opens up the potential to get crushed. You can do it's like a screen wrapper. I don't know exactly how it works.
It's because of the scroll effect. I'm really glad I'm able to kill this Hammer Brother right now because I'm like dangerously close to coin ship territory. Not anymore, but so I'm actually gonna I'm breaking these blocks to try and get to be safe, I guess, from avoiding a coin ship, to change my 10 spot, my 10's place in the points. So that was actually intentional what I was doing at the end there. Yeah, so this is actually where you're doing a race or something. That's actually where you really would probably wait to re-grab your Fire Flower. But I wanted to do some of the stages earlier on the normal way, so I grabbed it in 5-2.
So the fort here, you can see it has lava on the bottom and the top. I'm not sure why that is, but
Bowser, man, just got that top-notch interior decorating.
Boom boom down. So we're coming up on kind of wrapping up World 5 now.
Yep, 5A coming up is if you ever learn this game, here's another stage you should probably learn early on. This P-speed build is not too difficult at the beginning. You have a pretty big window to do it. It's pretty straightforward. As long as you can memorize a few jumps and crouch jump at the end, you're pretty good to go there. 5-9 is actually, I hated casually.
Yeah, it's another auto scroller. Normally they just go left to right. This one
throwing in that
upright.
diagonal movement.
Yeah.
The reason I hated this level is because of these kind of flying bowling ball guys that have fire tails. I don't know what they're called, but they can really make things difficult for you if you're not well prepared. I'm gonna kill one, yeah, right there, as soon as he comes on the screen. So it's nice to have fire. And then I'm gonna kind of manipulate one a little bit. I'm gonna make him throw the fireball to the right side of the platform and then walk back, and he should just run into my feet right here. But yeah, if you're not familiar with handling those guys, they can be a nuisance. I almost don't want to say this because I don't want to jinx myself, but Roy coming up, who's the Koopa Kid boss, is the easiest fire kill in the world. You basically stand there and press B and jump over one wand shot, and
Nothing
that's
can
it.
go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong, except for I did a practice run yesterday and I got hit on him, so we'll see. Really, you should be able to teach a 5-year-old how to do this fire kill.
So we're starting to get to the point where World 6 and beyond, it's kind of when it starts getting
World 6 is
harder.
when if you have a good run to World 6, that's when at least for me, that's when I start to kind of get the nerves kicking in, because there's a lot of really hard stages in World 6.
World 7's pretty brutal too.
World 7 starts out the middle is super, well, I shouldn't say super easy, but
the section at the end.
Yeah, because you start. Well, we'll talk about World 7 when we get there, but
yeah, we're starting to get to the meat of the
yeah,
run.
I'd say so. So as you can see, Roy just like runs into the wall there.
Roy is not very smart.
Nope.
And that's World 5.
That is a World 5. Yeah, it's really... it really sucks too when you get hit by Roy there because you can't do 6-1 coming up fast at all if you don't have your fire right from the get-go. So you'll see these like black orb things that these piranha plants are tossing up in the air. They're actually on like a global timer. It's one of the weird, like only things like that in the game, but if you don't start right, they're off.
Alright, so World 6, we introduced the ice physics. And again, he's just going to want to keep fire. He will lose it eventually, and then get it back, because we will be using a few P-Wings here, but...
Gosh, that coin count.
And he has 55 coins.
That coin count just keeps landing on double digits.
The game wants you to get a coin chip.
Apparently.
This stage is... I don't know, it's pretty tricky.
I'm really glad I got that. That's frightening.
Yeah, that's not an easy stage to do fast.
The P-speed build is... It's just tricky, I guess. And hey, I'm off 55 coins, so that's cool. I'm actually gonna adjust here. Alright, this level is admittedly, like, incredibly lame. I'm actually kinda gonna, like... try to, like, avoid coins, actually, in this stage. And that has to do with, like, where I want my coin count to be. To avoid coin chips. This is the last world I have to worry about it. I always notice that in the run. It's like another kind of like sigh of relief when you don't have to worry about that factor anymore. I will say though, as a, I don't know, promotion of this category, because not many people are running it right now, there's a lot of hate for the auto-scrollers, but they're honestly like, through the course of the run, they're almost like a nice little break where you can just kind of take a breath for a moment. And honestly, I don't find them to be too terribly annoying or anything like that.
Yeah, warpless is another pretty common category that people, if they prefer a little bit shorter runner...
it's much longer than any percent. You get to play through every world, but you're skipping a lot of stages that you don't get to see, I guess, that you would in this run.
Alright, so this fort here, he's actually going to take an intentional D-boost to kind of speed up the level here.
Right here, yeah.
Right now. So he'll be small for a little bit, but...
That's what we want. Oh, man, I'm just going to play it safe.
Yeah, eventually he's going to use a P-Wing in 6.5. The reason he's small is so he can get this star here and carry it all the way to Bowser and just
or the boom
get him
boom,
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not Bowser, boom boom.
I wish I was a Bowser. Orb. So yeah, these are like some of the rare, like, intended small Mario stages late in the game. Or like intended as far as the speedrun route, I should say.
That spinner at the end, if you don't jump high enough, it can flick you down and just kill you.
That can really be a nightmare sometimes.
Kind of something you have to watch out for. He's gonna do 6-6 first.
Here's one you skip in Warpless 2, which is like kind of terrible, but also feels really good to optimize.
You can see he gets P-speed and carries it into the water, which gives him a little bit of a boost. Nice swimming. Yeah, and you can see why being small here is beneficial. It's just a lot easier to maneuver through the piranhas.
There's another
that
like...
part at the end is...
I was just gonna say...
If you slow down, you tend to get in trouble.
You're like better off just going fast, honestly, than being, you know, scared and kind of get yourself in a bad situation. All right, so now, okay, yep, I'm gonna. Oh, never mind. I guess I'm fighting him first. I actually really like to get this pattern when I'm Small Mario because when there's one on the ground, like you can try and do like a risky jump on his head, but often results in death.
She's gonna P-wing here. The stage. There's a strat you can do to despawn. Let's see if you can get any of those. So what he did by basically there's two nippers usually there.
Supposed to be, yeah.
And by going fast enough and running down that slope at the end, that actually despawned one of them. Normally you would do that stage by using a tail, bouncing on a Koopa, and then taking it up there.
Yeah, you got to knock him out with a turtle shell, basically.
So very nice.
No more coin chip worries, so that's good since I kept constantly being on double digits like the whole time. Yeah, the reason that Nipper at the top of that 6-5 with the P-Wing stage despawns is because the game can only have so many sprites on the screen at one time, right? So I go fast enough where there's too many on screen. It's got to choose something to despawn. Nice. Yeah, the double death. It's got to pick something to take away, basically, and it picks that one of those nippers up at the top. Because it just can't load all the sprites, I guess. See if I can get a one-up glitch here. Nope. If you hit, I think it's the 5th frame, after you grab a one-up on the 5th frame, if you swing Mario's tail, you get like a weird glitched out noise that the game makes. Sweet, didn't die. I've died on that
Yeah, there's
part.
a lot of hidden one-ups, and honestly, this game is really fun casually just because there's so many secret areas you can explore. And
I mean, yeah, you can spend
the
days.
game is littered with them all over. So he's going to be keeping tail here and trying to fly under. And then he's going to...
I played it really safe there so I didn't fall down. Whoa, thank you, iframes.
Alright, he's through. So we'll be using one more P-Wing in this world.
Yep, it's a really simple flyover stage coming up. 6-8. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I kind of hate this stage. Alright, we should be good. The game starts to lag when you build your P-speed fully, so it's just really awkward. And sometimes it doesn't fully build all the way, and you're like kind of stuck without P-speed, and you just kind of gotta take the long way home, I guess. So P-Wing time. These are really like specifically routed out through the game. Great. I did that in my PB too. It's like the easiest level. Like basically what happens is I try to cut it really tight so I can run on that block as much as possible, but I just came up a little short.
She's going to be trying to get P-speed here. This is a pretty cool strat if you can pull it off. Nice. It doesn't look like he should be able to keep P-speed through that, but just because you're kicking the block and I don't know
it's
how
really
it works
awkward.
exactly, but
Yeah, Mitch came up with that one. It's a really cool strat. For the longest time, we did not use P-speed through 610.
So we're coming up on the final fort here. In World 6. There's a little room here with the ghost. You kind of have to wait it out a little bit.
If you can actually clip into the floor in the previous room, and go directly to this room that I'm in now, and it saves like around 6 seconds. Except in 100% it's really stupid to go for because if you miss short, you lose your fire flower, and you know we've talked about the importance of fire throughout. But if you're doing warpless, you're only Big Mario at that stage, and you can re-grab a mushroom on this airship coming up. It's like a lot of people actually try to clip into the ground in the first room of that fort, and it'll just slide you over to the boom boom fight. It's actually really cool, but really stupid to go for in 100% run.
So the important thing with this airship here is that he maintains his big, either with fire or Big Mario.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because
Not even going to go for the fake
the next stage coming up, 7-1, he's going to want to be big in order to do a clip at the very beginning.
Yep.
I mean, technically you can clip small, but it's probably very unlikely.
Technically, yes, but like in practice, probably not.
So if you're small, you'd probably either just play the stage normally, which is very slow,
If you're
or
small,
just
you
P-wing it.
hit reset, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would P-wing it, actually, and just subtract one from later in World 7. I'm going to go for a fire kill here. I want to try and get stuck between the back of, what is it, Lemmy? Iggy? And the wall. Ah, he threw me out. I kind of got like the backup version of it, which still saves a little time over just jumping on his head. But yeah, ideally I just would have got caught there and just so I could mash 10 fireballs into him. Takes 10 fireballs to kill the Koopa kids in this game. I think it's 35 to kill Bowser at the end.
World 7.
Here comes the clip. Here comes the fun.
The stage is so good.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and go right through a wall here in the beginning of World 7 and skip the stage, essentially. Hit the spot there, but the sub-pixel... Okay,
Nice.
that's fine. I would always take third try, like even in PvP attempts. Obviously you want first, but not going to complain.
Yeah, you never really know what to expect with 7-1. Someone can be on really good pace. And
Yeah, it can
you can just see him struggling and
runs over.
the runs over, and or you could just be on terrible pace and get it first
First try,
You
yeah.
never really know what's going to happen, but so that stage here, it's important to get P-speed, and what he did was jump a huge gap with P-speed. Normally you would have to, there's a bunch of invisible music block notes that you would have to bounce and make appear, and then you would basically have to go around.
Causes a ton of backtracking, basically.
Yeah. So by getting P-speed and jumping that gap, he saved quite a bit of time there.
Yeah.
Seven 3, pretty straightforward stage.
Go ahead.
He'll actually be going to 7-5 next,
Yep.
and he'll be using his P-wing.
You want to talk about why we use a P-wing in this one?
Yeah, the P-wing makes this stage a little bit easier. This is a pretty technical, demanding stage. It's basically a huge puzzle. But having tail here is...
No. Oh man, I was trying to play it super safe too, so I didn't get hit. Alright. Can I get through that now? Man, I'm kind of like going on the fly here, honestly. I think what I need to do is grab one of these dudes. So yeah, this is gonna hurt, but you will get to see attempts of a clip I won't get in 7-7 now. Alright, so now I gotta, like, what I want to do is just like fly over all this stuff right here. I'm actually gonna go down right now and clear, not that pipe obviously. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is actually go down here. I have to create a bridge now of blocks basically, right here. And if I had my P-wing, I can just fly over all this garbage. Shoutouts to Cujo, same thing happened to him in his last SGDQ run of this category. Oh my gosh, see, like, they're all over the place. It's just littered with them. Alright, but now I should be out of this mess. So like, as you can see, that's a lot of time loss if that happens. I was trying to be so careful too. I think that's why I got hit, because I was almost like trying to be too safe and not get hit by him. Alright, so now we have... Ooh, this is going to be weird with no tail. It doesn't really matter, but...
Yeah, 7-4 is everyone's, well, no one likes
It's my
the
most
stage.
hated level, I'll tell you that, for sure.
It's an auto-scroller. It's underwater. There's fish everywhere.
Fish everywhere.
There's squid.
Actually, my life's going to be a little easier in this stage.
Oh yeah, I suppose you can just mow them
Because
down
now I
with
can just,
fire.
yeah. Yeah, there's actually like a section later that is really like, can get really laggy with those bloopers. You see them on the right side of the screen now. And there's 2 of them. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, yeah, later there's 2 of them and they can really cause a bunch of lag, but I should be able to just kill them now.
Normally you would have tail in this stage, but
Yeah, and the ideal thing is to make it through with your tail, because I'll show you like momentarily why. Because I'm basically just gonna have to do some extra overworld movements. I'm gonna have to open my inventory an extra time. I mean, it's not like a ton of time, but obviously when you're trying to optimize everything, it's not something you want to be doing. Yeah, swimming auto-scroller. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna use a star and take out the first piranha plant of the game.
so yeah, we mentioned for 100% doing 2 plant stages in World 2. Here he's going to do the first one right here.
In World 7, I think you said 2, but
So
yeah.
these are required for 100%.
Yeah.
They're fairly short stages, but
Like, my strat isn't really changed or anything by not having a tail. Pick up another P-Wing, which is a nice...
so you'll
Benefit.
cloud, right?
Yep, so now I have to cloud over this stage and use a P-Wing, and I'm going to actually come back and do it after this. The reason being... Oh, by the way, they didn't put a top on this level, so you could just fly over the top of it. But, so now I have a tail, which is going to seriously speed up the level I just skipped over. Alright, so now you'll see why we want a tail. I wanted to actually jump off that little kind of cross of blocks, but it's a really small optimization. And now it's like serious time for World 7. I don't need serious time or anything, but this is like where the difficulty ramps up, I guess.
Yeah, this is kind of the gauntlet of the run here.
Yeah.
These stages coming up are pretty tricky. So he's going to take an intentional D-boost right there, pick up the star. Very nice.
It's always one I'm glad to
That
get
stage
done.
is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it really is. Since I've been like dying and losing my P-Wing and such, I think I'm gonna try the clip in 7-7. We'll give it a few shots. I think I'm gonna go for 3. Do you want to talk about what I'm trying to do, because it looks kind of silly if you don't know?
He's trying to build up momentum and clip through this pipe. And by doing that, what he could have done is, if he would have performed the clip, he would have basically just went to the other side and the stage would have been over. This is how you normally do the stage.
Yeah.
The 7-7 clip, if you get it first try, I want to say it's like maybe 15 seconds.
It's
or
like
something.
15 seconds, yeah, first try.
The world record by Karua, he actually gets it first try.
First try, yeah.
Which is crazy.
So where I just came out of that pipe right now, I would have just slid right there immediately. But it's pretty ridiculous to get. Oh man, my inventory was kind of weird. I was like, where's my P-wing at? Yeah, last P-wing of the run here. This one, that was, I mean, we on purpose lose that right away. There's actually a clip I can try and get. It's definitely worth going for. Right here. I didn't get it. But it's pretty high reward, pretty low risk.
This level is there's a lot of clips you can do if you so choose to do that, but
yeah, like the warpless, the way to go now for like top times is to do like 4 clips through those right angles. Mario can clip into like any right angled wall in the game.
So this is a very difficult fort here. He's gonna try and keep his fire and build up P speed and carry that through the fort, but this is also another one of those very terrifying stages. He's gonna go for it. Ooh,
Yes.
that is a very difficult strat to do. Not very few people go for that, but
Yeah, the guy who has the world record, Kurua, came up with that strat. And he was the only one doing it for a long time.
yeah, that looks so cool when people
Yeah.
get it.
It's funny because like there's a strat where you can take a damage boost in the first room, and it's only like a second and a half slower. But I mean, if you can grab a second and a half in one stage, it's worth it if you're confident in it. This is gonna be like the one Koopa Kid exception where I'm not gonna go for a fire kill. You definitely can. Sadly, I've spent like I've sunk a lot of time into like perfecting my fire kill, but this guy's Ludwig coming up. But the issue is, so I don't know if you've been noticing, like the Koopa Kids, they have these wands and they'll throw these rings at you, kind of like wand shots, I call them. And his, even if I get the same pattern, it's not going to have he might throw his wand in a different direction, which obviously throws me off if it's not the one I'm hoping for. So I kind of personally just don't even go for a fire kill on Ludwig anymore. I've just lost too many good runs to it.
Yeah, we're kind of coming up on the home stretch here. World 8 is the final world.
Yeah, the nice thing
Basically
about
a mixture of auto-scrollers, and there's a couple of really, really tricky stages that you'll see.
yeah, like it gets about halfway through is like when it gets real. It's honestly like pretty lame at the start for a speed run because there's 2 really long auto scrollers. I think you already said that, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Alright, here's Ludwig.
Very nice.
I instinctively, like, every time I kill a Koopa Kid, I like want to hit my split key. Like every time.
You can hit this thing.
It's like, yeah. It's just like I've had to resist the urge every single time. It just like automatically goes off in my brain. Alright, yeah, so where am I at? World 8, auto scroller town.
Yep.
Like it's kind of weird because it's so incredibly, like the beginning is so just like slow, but then it just picks up so quick when you get to 8-1.
So we first have the tank here. Again, you can kind of relax, but not too much, because there is bombs and projectiles flying all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I remember casually, like, I'd just bank all my P-Wings for World 8, and I would definitely fly over this, but when you've done it like a million times, it doesn't pose too much of a threat, I guess. One thing there's like one speed strat thing you can do in this stage to reduce lag, and you'll see me do that shortly here. I'm basically gonna like make sure I kill a bunch of bombs, bombs, because there's one part soon where too many get on screen and they just create a bunch of lag. That box right there has a tail, so it's not really of use to you at this point in the run.
Yeah, at this point in the run, it's keeping fire is pretty crucial.
It's paramount,
because there isn't many opportunities left to get a fire flower. There is just a handful of them. I think Third Hand has one.
Yep. So here's the lag reduction that I was talking about. That's about all you can do to save time in this stage.
Have you ever got crushed there trying to?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure I've done every possible stupid thing at this point, honestly. Oh, I thought I might get what we refer to as rangless, where you kill that boomerang bro before he gets his boomerang off. And the reason it saves time is because if you noticed, I had to wait until his boomerang got off screen for the chest to spawn. But if he never throws the boomerang, you don't have to wait for it. So it saves, it honestly is like a nice chunk. It's like almost 3 seconds, I think.
So here we have the second auto-scroller of World 8.
Yep, if anyone's wondering about swimming under the boat, yes you can, but it is slower because you can't immediately enter the pipe at the end. I know a lot of people used to do that as a kid, myself included. Just swim under the boat so you don't have to deal with anything.
Can you get stuck at the bottom? Like it's not coming?
If you're you and we're in a race and no, one time, a long time ago, me and my partner here, Beef Watson, we actually used to like set up CRTs next to each other and race each other in this game. In this category actually too. And he was doing like the All-Stars version or something, and I don't know, basically he just could not get up on the back end of the ship, and I beat him because of it.
Was like trying to get up
He was
for
just
a minute.
stuck here, yeah, for like a minute. Good times.
It was very sad.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we are going to be coming up on the hands, which it's not... There's other categories, like in Warpless, for example, you would want no hands.
Yeah, if you're doing Warpless, here's like, well, my run's over, it's been fun.
But the nice thing about 100%, you obviously have to do all 3 of them.
So you want to talk about the hand animation?
Oh yeah, so technically, really all you can lose is about 4.5 seconds to bad luck. You can
It's like 3, but yeah, around that.
Yeah, you can see the hand animation grabbed him, which is about 1.5 seconds.
Takes time.
He got another one there. It's not a huge deal, but you can go into that stage and just press A and skip the animation.
Yeah, you want to
that's
manually
ideal.
enter. You want to just enter by pressing A and not having the hand grab you and pull you in. Alright, almost through the hands. This one's probably the most difficult, even though it's not very difficult.
Yeah, the hands are typically they're all roughly about 20 seconds, give or take.
I'm never saying anything's not difficult again.
And then we'll be coming up on the Air Force.
Yep, the fast ship that most people P-winged as a youngster. Like, it's not too tough after you've done it a million times, but definitely like runs have been lost on this.
Yeah, on this stage it pays off to be a little bit more aggressive, and obviously it helps if you have a power-up.
Yeah, I actually, that's a good way to put it. It is beneficial to be aggressive because you can just take these guys out. The worst thing that can happen is if they're throwing wrenches that get left on the screen and they're floating towards you as you're progressing. They can really get in your way. And
if you're not comfortable, I mean, you can always save a P-wing and I guess if you were starting out speedrunning this game, that's
Oh, yeah.
probably what I would recommend, is just kind of playing it safe, because it can be, it's at the end of the run, and it can be a tense stage for sure.
Another good option is having a tail so you can float, and you can tail whip those guys too, so yeah. And you get 3 tails, you get a tail item from each of those hand stages that I just completed.
Alright, so coming up on 8-1 here, it's another stage that's pretty terrifying. He's going to be trying to get P-speed and carry that all the way. There's a couple tricky jumps here. It's very nice. Yeah, that
was one that I wanted to get, so I'm glad I got that one.
That's a stage that a lot of people dread just because it's so late in the run, and
it's really difficult. Like, I've just sunk hours into that stage alone.
So it's the return of the Angry Sun.
I gotta go a little, I mean, this is not a big deal, but ideally I would have kept my P-speed there, but I actually overshot the last music block that I wanted to land on.
And then he'll be coming up to the fort here. He'll be using a star, and that will kind of help him maneuver through these orbs.
I was being really careful not to whistle there. My inventory's a little messed up.
Oh yeah.
So I just wanted to be really careful. But we're good.
And really, we're coming up on the home stretch. It's this level, another auto-scroller, and then we'll be finishing up in Bowser's Castle very shortly here.
So I'm actually skipping a cycle there by going fast enough. The game intends you to hit another blue P switch to spawn that last door I went into. But if you're quick enough, you can just go into it from the last one you hit, basically. So yep, auto-scroller, and it's King Koopa time.
Wait, can you technically go up on top of it? Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah,
I mean,
one last
some people
chance
do,
one last chance to kind of think about your run as you just...
This is actually terrifying when you're on good pace, because one thing, it's just, okay, don't lose my fire, because that is a huge time loss if you can't fire kill Bowser. And then Bowser's Castle is not an easy stage to do optimally either, so yeah, you kind of just... It's basically a good time to get really nervous. Imagine it's kind of like in Super Metroid, when you go down, I don't know, there's that Ridley statue, I think it is anyways. And you kind of go down to that last section. I don't know, I'm not super familiar with that game, but I'd imagine it's someone like that, where you kind of get a pause. Too much time to think, almost. I mean, I get, there's just another example of fire is so crucial to getting a good time. Alright, here we go.
Final stage. So there's a clip that he'll be doing coming up here shortly called the 1-up clip. Just makes it a little bit easier. There's a bunch of donuts down there.
No! Man, I don't know what happened there. I'm actually going to use a mushroom. That's never happened before, but that usually doesn't happen. That was just, I don't know, that was an odd mistake, I would say. We'll turn back this time, make sure that doesn't repeat.
Yeah, this last room can be... It's ideal to have P-speed through it, because you can just...
Man, this is so weird. So, usually I'd be jumping up there and fire-killing Bowser right now. But this game just doesn't want me to do that lately. So I can show off his stupid hitbox that's only in his head. So like I'm totally safe. Like he cannot hurt me unless if I stood up he could, but yeah, it's a great mechanic. And that'll do it. And time's coming up when I enter this door in a moment. Lost my 113, oh well.
Still pretty good.
And time.
Time. Nice run.
Yeah, thanks, man. So my incentive got met, correct? Anyone? Right? I think it did. It was, Gooby told me it did, so I'm just gonna do it right now anyways. Alright. So actually, I need my EverDrive, actually.
What are you looking for?
I need my EverDrive to go to a stage quick. I think it's in that. Yeah, thank you.
While you're setting that up, I'm going to read off a quick
Yeah,
review.
go for it, man.
This came in a little while ago, but you guys are doing excellent commentary. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. This comes from Drumbordist.
Well, you didn't get a coin chip.
$20. It says, I'm donating
It
because
tried.
I respect any group that is helping out towards suicide prevention.
The game was trying.
Shoutouts to my homie Ulti. Good luck on your runs, man, and good luck to everyone in the Mario block. Woo! Donation goes to toast some Kirby at Peeps, because yay. Thank you for that donation.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna skip the end credits here so we can keep moving along. So what I'm gonna do here is basically enter like a portion of a stage that was left over from development that they just didn't bother to take out because you're not supposed to be able to get there. Alright, so clearly never played this game before. Alright, so yeah, like I'm gonna go into a secret area in here, which is gonna lead to maybe a super secret area, you could say. So you can kind of see there's a block on the top of the screen. That spawned a vine just now. So I'm gonna go into this secret area, and I'm gonna try and clip through this wall to my right. I'm gonna try and go right through it. And hopefully it doesn't take a million tries. Like this morning I was practicing it, and I literally, gosh, now I gotta avoid this garbage. But I literally got it like first try when I was at my house before I left to come here, and then I was practicing it before I run. It took me like 35 tries, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's just kind of like 7-1.
It will work eventually. It's really finicky because I'm obviously not coming at it with P speed. If you're coming at something like this with P speed, I mean, theoretically you can get it every time, but yeah, so slightly anticlimactic here, but get in the wall, sir. Yeah, so basically like what I'm trying to do is I'm crouch jumping at that corner. In Mario, I want him to basically like stand up inside the wall, and he'll just go through the wall. George is getting upset. All right. Maybe this wasn't the best donation incentive in the world. There we go. Okay. So right here, like they just left this in the game. Like they just decided not to take it out. It's not anything too crazy spectacular, but you can actually end the level right here in a like unintended way that they just kind of left that card box in there. So I thought it was kind of nifty. But yeah, thanks for having me. I think that's gonna do it for me. Shout outs to all the SMB3 runners out there. Pretty sweet community. And yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Next up, we have Super Mario Odyssey by Area 51. So stay tuned. We're going to get that set up right now, and that's coming up right next.